Welcome everyone. It is a beautiful Tuesday out there. Holla at your boy in that live chat. In today's show, we're going to be discussing the Bitcoin price metric copying a move that last came before a 25% FTX crash. We'll also be discussing a $646 billion asset manager, AB Bernstein, predicting a spot Bitcoin ETF to finally get approved between mid-October and mid-March of next year in 2024. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, higher oil prices, along with higher interest deposit, USD accounts, are attracting capital and creating a small headwind for Bitcoin. We'll also be discussing breaking news, El Salvador to introduce Bitcoin education in schools by 2024. That's right, Bitcoin is for the children. We'll also be discussing the crypto casino stake getting hacked for $41 million, which is pretty massive. It was all stolen in crypto, just FYI. We'll also be discussing Ex-Goldman banker says that one quadrillion crypto use case that dwarfs everything can come into the industry. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as the Bitcoin bull market began back in March earlier this year, and more will realize it in a year, according to Arthur Hayes. That's right, the BitMEX co-founder says Bitcoin has been on a bull run since the Fed's $25 billion program aimed at stabilizing the U.S. banking system. We'll also be discussing the Bitcoin price destined for $1 million per coin following the First Republic collapse, according to Arthur Hayes. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining us. A quick reminder to smash that like button to help support the channel and the show, especially with that YouTube algorithm. And if you like receiving daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell, as it helps out tremendously. Also a reminder, we created a brand new YouTube channel called Crypto News Alerts Clips, where I'm sharing daily clips taken from the live stream. Please help support the new channel. And there's a link below the description below, and it's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. Now, welcome everyone just joining us. Massive shout out to everyone today in the live chat. How was your holiday weekend? Let me know. And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them, chat. I appreciate it. At the end of the show, we always do our live Q&A. Today is September 5th, 2023. I'm your host, JV, and this is pod episode number 1393. Let's kick off today's show with our market watch. As you should be able to see here, actually, let me know if you can see. I think I pulled up the wrong screen. Let me fix this. Give me one moment, fam. I think we got the wrong window opened up right now. Let's fix it to here. Now you should be able to see. Let me know if you can see the screen. It should show up as the market watch right now. You can see Bitcoin currently correcting. Unfortunately, 26,000 didn't hold, as we're currently dropping back in the $25,000 range. We have Ether barely in the green, and most of the crypto market currently in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. It's currently sitting above just $1 trillion with about 26 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 48.2% and the Ether dominance at 18.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, as you can see, we have a mixture, a lot of gainers, but also a lot of losers. I say the top gainers being Neo, Blockstacks, as well as Synthetics. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 40, which is fear, same as yesterday. Last week a 39. And last month a 49, which is neutral. So there you frickin' have it. Welcome y'all just joining us. Make sure again to smash that like. It helps out tremendously. And let's get this show on the road. Now let's kick off today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts and what's popping. Bitcoin could have dropped much more last week after one on-chain metric repeated its move from the FTX crash. As noted by analyst James Stratton, research and data analyst of Crypto Insights firm Crypto Slate. It's the short to long-term realized value ratio, which has flipped for the first time since November of last year. And lo and behold, that was around the time of the FTX collapse. Bitcoin price weakness is getting market observers ready for a drop towards 23,000. In fact, we're only 2,000 away, right? But the fallout from Bitcoin's August come down could have been much worse. According to the SLRV ratio, a spike in sales of older Bitcoin occurred back in mid-August. Devised by famed analyst David Puel and ARK Invest, the SLRV uses the popular HODL waves metric to track the Bitcoin on-chain velocity. Now, HODL waves split up the circulating Bitcoin supply by the age of the coins used in transactions. The SLRV takes the coins that previously moved within the past 24 hours and divides them by those that previously moved between 6 and 12 months ago. The metric also includes two moving averages, which are the 30-day and 150-day trend lines, and crossovers between these have coincided with key Bitcoin price events. Just before the FTX meltdown, the 150-day line crossed the 30-day line, and in mid-August, the phenomenon repeated for the first time. Since then, quoting Glassnode Analytics, SLRV ribbons inverted on August 13th, 3 days before the Bitcoin drops to 25,000. Last time the metric inverted was just before the FTX collapse. They shared, as outlined here in this chart. So could this be another deja vu moment? Let me know your thoughts. Now, previous analysts, meanwhile, paid close attention to the behavior of the Bitcoin investor cohorts. Those hodling Bitcoin for 155 days or less, we know as the short-term hodlers or speculators, are of particular interest to Glassnode, the on-chain platform, CryptoQuant, as well as others. The short-term hodler cost basis shows the aggregate price at which the short-term hodlers accumulated their share of the Bitcoin supply, previously acting as market support, but this appears to no longer be the case. The short-term hodler cost basis currently sits just above the spot price, with Stratton reporting that speculators have sold en masse at a loss since late August, and according to data from CryptoQuant, shows the price at which various coins used in transactions were last moved, as outlined right here. So there you have it. And breaking news just in, $646 billion asset manager AB Bernstein predicts a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved between mid-October and mid-March 2024. What are your thoughts surrounding the spot Bitcoin ETF? We also have expert ETF analysts over at Bloomberg, including Eric Balchunas, giving a 75% chance that an ETF spot can get approved in the US this year before the end of the year, considering we're already in the fourth quarter, with a 95% chance of approval of the spot ETF by next year if we don't get the approval this year. But what are your thoughts? Let me know, fam. And at the end of the show, I'll be reading all of your comments out loud. I also like to point out, actually right here, a good quote from Max Kaiser. Economist Holger shared the following chart. Brent oil hits 90 BBL. I don't know if that means billion per barrel or whatever that means. But for the first time since November, as Saudi Arabia extended its unilateral oil production cut by another 3 months, Max Kaiser responded and said the higher the oil prices, along with higher interest deposit USD accounts, they're attracting capital and creating a small headwind for Bitcoin. Max also recently predicted that the Saudi oil money is going to help usher in a fantastic new parabolic price action for the King crypto. So please do let me know your thoughts. And now let's break down our next story of the day coming out of El Salvador, and that's Bitcoin is for the children. That's right. They're going to start doing Bitcoin classes officially next year in 2024. I'd love to see this happen in the United States, but I'm not holding my breath. Anyways, the Ministry of Education of El Salvador and the nonprofit, non-governmental organization Me Primer Bitcoin, meaning My First Bitcoin in English, partnered to add Bitcoin education to the public school curriculum by 2024. Massive respect to Bukele for making this happen. Now, John Denneny, the founder of MPB, confirmed that this is the project of the Ministry of Education and that MPB is assisting along with Bitcoin Beach. Now, the Me Primer Bitcoin program, from which students receive a diploma of completion with the primary source material for the Bitcoin portion, according to this statement, which was outlined right here. What an inspiring vision. The future of El Salvador shines bright with plans to introduce Bitcoin education in every public school by 2024. Talking about setting the standard, right? Together, we're making strides towards financial empowerment and knowledge for all. How many of you would love to enroll your child in a curriculum or educational system that is teaching Bitcoin? What's more important? Nothing that I can think of. He said that training for the pilot program begins September 7th with assistance from Bitcoin Beach. The Bitcoin Diploma program will be taught to 150 public school teachers from 75 schools to provide them with basic knowledge of Bitcoin. Quoting them here, as the first nation to adopt Bitcoin, El Salvador will be the example for the world. Quality education is our best chance to ensure that the example is a positive one, 100%. They also said that the initial training, the teachers will return to their own schools and teach from the curriculum created by the Ministry of Education, and if successful, the program will be rolled out to every school in the country by next year. Quoting them again, when my first Bitcoin began 2 years ago, one of my dreams was to educate a nation. This is a significant step towards that. And in a recent interview, its community leader of Bitcoin Beach shared that over 25,000 students in El Salvador have already learned about Bitcoin in the classroom. They also said that while El Salvador is currently the focus, the mission is to bring Bitcoin education to the world. Let's go, quoting them here. El Salvador is leading the way with public Bitcoin education, and we expect other nations to follow. The world is watching. Amen. Which countries do you think are likely to follow in the footsteps of El Salvador, potentially make Bitcoin a legal tender, and start introducing a Bitcoin curriculum to the children in the school systems? Let me know your honest thoughts. I'd love to see this take off as more and more countries continue to adopt Bitcoin, as Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect. But now let's discuss Stake, one of the largest, if not the largest, crypto gambling websites in the world. They were hacked for like $41 million in cryptocurrency, and they just resumed business as usual. Yesterday, when I was covering the story, it was breaking and we only reported 16 million. Now it's up to 41 million. So important to break this down. I think it's insanity, anyone gambling on these platforms. But then again, to each their own. Crypto betting platform Stake reopened deposits and withdrawals and resumed services for users only 5 hours after the platform was hacked in the tune of $41.3 million, according to blockchain security firms, in which they estimate. Stake confirmed that all services resumed at 9:30 p.m. last night, and a few hours after the platform confirmed that several unauthorized transactions were made on Stake's ETH/BSC hot wallets. The betting site said its Bitcoin, Litecoin, and XRP wallets were not impacted, but haven't yet shared the cause of the exploit or how much was stolen. Stake confirmed, however, that user funds remain safe, as they outlined right here in this tweet. An analysis by the blockchain security firm calculated the total loss to be 41.3 million, which included 15.7 million on Ethereum, 7.8 million on Polygon/Matic, and another about 18 million from the BNB smart contract, which is the native token of Binance. Now, an earlier estimate of 16 million by fellow blockchain security firm PeckShield didn't account for the 25.6 million allegedly lost on the BSC and Polygon, according to on-chain analyst Zach XBT. The first transaction occurred around noon just the other day, transferring approximately 4 million worth of stablecoin Tether from Stake to the attacker's account. The next two transactions removed over 6,000 Ether, worth approximately $10 million at today's current prices. The attacker continued to remove tokens over the next few minutes, including $1 million in USD coin, 900,000 worth of DAI, and 333 Stake Classic, which is understood to have made up the first 16 million on Ethereum. So there you have it. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're into gambling websites, it is what it is, to each their own, but at the same time, I can't stress enough caution, as a lot of these sites become honeypots for hackers. And a lot of these sites are, I'm not referring to Stake, but a lot of crypto gambling sites, they'll take as much crypto as you're willing to upload. And even if you win a bet and try to withdraw, you'll soon realize many of them are scams and you'll never see your crypto ever again. So do your own due diligence. If you're, planning on doing gambling and you're set your mind already to do gambling, I can't stress enough how important it is to do your homework. Anyways, with that being shared, fam, now let's discuss our next story of the day. Could you imagine a quadrillion dollars coming into the crypto market? Well, the macro guru, Raoul Pal, can. Let's break this down, shall we? And welcome to everyone just joining us. Make sure to say hello in that live chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. The former Goldman Sachs executive, Raoul Pal, says there's a use case for crypto worth about $1 quadrillion that will eventually flow into the space. That's right. In a new interview on Crypto Banter, the macro guru says that BlackRock's recent push for a spot Bitcoin ETF has potentially paved the way for massive amounts of money to move onto the blockchains and crypto platforms. Quoting the analyst here, I think it is very important that BlackRock, what they have done, not for the ETF and not for the flows, but for the message it sends to the entire financial industry. That's right. It's all about sending a message, right, fam? Again, I know a lot of these people, BlackRock, have been involved in crypto for a while now. Don't forget, he, referring to Larry Fink, their CEO, talked about it in the last cycle. Apollo, massive, Goldman, JP Morgan, they're all here. But what we're doing is seeing them come to the surface and say, this is a meaningful technology. They are now saying, we'll want to invest in it. We want to allow our clients to invest in it, and we have built out the infrastructure of it. So if you want the largest application layer possible, it's that whole finance industry. There's like 1 quadrillion of derivatives that can all go on chain. All the equities markets, everything can go on chain. So if you want a use case that dwarfs everything, it's the system of money in finance. Now, BlackRock, which has a near 100% success rate in getting their ETF apps approved, applied for a Bitcoin ETF back in July. As we all know, their track record is something like 575 to 1. So very strong possibility that the BlackRock spot ETF finally gets approved, ushering in trillions of dollars into the crypto industry, which could obviously send the price action parabolic. The two most bullish catalysts in crypto right now: number one, Bitcoin halving, scheduled to be roughly 6 months out, sometime in April of 2024. Also, the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Once one major institution like BlackRock gets the green light, it could be a domino effect, and all the institutions can get approved just like that. And just in the major institutions, there's literally over $100 trillion of capital just awaiting to enter the Bitcoin space, like Bruce Lee entering the dragon. But hey, it is what it is. Now let's break down prediction for the next Bitcoin bull market, which Arthur Hayes says already started back in March earlier this year. And then we'll be discussing his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. And welcome everyone just joining us. Let's break this down. Bitcoin has been on a bull run for the past 6 months or so, and the market has yet to respond. But it will in around 6 months, according to BitMEX co-founder and former CEO Arthur Hayes. Just blaze. In a September 5th keynote speech at Korea Blockchain Week, Hayes argued Bitcoin's bull run began back on March 10th, the day Silicon Valley Bank was taken over by the FDIC. Now, 2 days before SVB's takeover on March 8th, we also had Silvergate Bank, which went into liquidation. Then 2 days later, on March 12th, Signature Bank was forced to close by New York regulators. Sucks to be in New York. Just saying. Anyways, in response and a bid from stop further possible collapses, the Federal Reserve created the Bank Term Funding Program, offering banking loans of up to a year in return for them posting qualifying assets as collateral. Quoting Hayes here, essentially what the Fed did was backstop the entire banking system by saying, please give me your underwater dog-ish bonds and I'll give you fresh dollars. Now, he also goes on to share, me and the rest of the market rightly saw through this as basically them admitting that they caused this problem, the structure of the banking system, and this is one of the ways you can fix it, which is just print more money. Money printer continue to go. And since then, Bitcoin's price has increased, currently around 26%, which is why he claims the bull market started on that day, as he shares here. We basically ditched this whole facade that we care about the value of the dollar and the value of any fiat currency. Preach. This pushed traders to consider fixed supply assets such as Bitcoin, he claimed. However, the rest of the market hasn't yet responded, but he gave a timeline to 6 to 12 months before that occurs. Hayes said even if the Fed and other central banks continued interest rate hikes to enable economic tightening, or if they print more money, then Bitcoin would still perform well. That's right. On both scenarios, whether the Fed raises or cuts, we are in a good position as the crypto industry. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes. And with that being shared, now let's dive into our breaking story of the day and discuss the Bitcoin price action hitting $1 million per coin, in which Arthur Hayes doubled down on this prediction just a few months back. And for the past previous years, he has been predicting a $1 million Bitcoin price. But what will spark this to actually occur? That's what we're going to be breaking down right now. Let's go. Here we go. Controversial BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes continues to predict Bitcoin will skyrocket to $1 million in price per coin. The crypto billionaire tells his almost 400,000 followers that First Republic Bank won't likely be the last financial institution to collapse. According to Hayes, another regional bank will likely face liquidity issues in the coming days as the Federal Reserve gears up to raise interest rates. Quoting him here, seems like the Fed still wants to hike a 0.25% at its meeting this week. They still don't get it, or maybe they do and they're just hoping and praying that the market is stupid. Doesn't matter either way, a rate hike almost guarantees another not too big to fail bank will bite the dust this week. Now, he made this prediction a few months back, and I believe more banks have collapsed since then, so I believe came true. First Republic has a loan book full of jumbo mortgages made to rich people at low rates that are now worth way less than after the interest rates rose. The next bank maybe fails this week. I think we'll have a loan book full of illiquid, large commercial real estate loans. Hayes also predicts the crisis in the banking sector will trigger a macroeconomic turmoil that can help springboard the Bitcoin price to $1 million per coin. We all know he has made numerous $1 million Bitcoin price predictions in the past. Quoting him again, I will be looking through my sell-side research for a chart that shows the U.S. banks with the largest CRE portfolios. I will then take a hard look at 50 to 75% out-of-money short-dated puts on these banks to be purchased after the Fed meetings. And then Yahtzee Bitcoin equals $1 million. Now, Hayes had said previously last year that fellow executive Benjamin Dello, when he pled guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act by willfully failing to establish anti-money laundering protocols at their exchange, a judge later sentenced Hayes to 6 months of home detention and 2 years of probation, and the former CEO also agreed to pay a fine of $10 million. But there you have it. How many of you feel that a $1 million Bitcoin price is inevitable and only a matter of time? Also want to point out we have other major crypto influencers predicting that $1 million target as well, including ARK Investors' Kathy Wood, who recently doubled down on her $1 million price prediction as well. And she shared the bullish case that the Bitcoin price could even rise as high as $1.48 million per coin by the year 2030. We also have many other bullish analysts, which I cover each and every day here in Crypto News Alerts, as I lead every single episode with a massive prediction from another influencer. But what are your thoughts? By what year do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to capture that seven-figure historic price action? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into our live Q&A. Massive shout out to everyone today in the live chat. Bitcoin Trini, what up? Matthew was good. Corey Reynolds was good. Bitcoin Trini, Digital Dankness. Shout out to the mod. Shout out to Ellen. I am doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking. Much love, much respect. Shout out to Baller Bill. Appreciate you tuning in, supporting the movement. Shout out to Hodl Mike 73. And also a quick reminder, if you got value out of today's episode, make sure to smash the like. It's the greatest compliment you can do, and it also helps out tremendously with the algorithm. And as soon as the live show is over, there's going to be a main comment section below the video which will appear after the live stream. I highly encourage you to just drop a comment, even if it's only a few words like "great show today, JV," as it also helps out tremendously. And we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers as fast as humanly possible, so hopefully before the Bitcoin halving coming up in 6 months. I also strongly encourage you to subscribe to our new Clips channel to help support the movement. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also a reminder, we have a Discord open for everyone who is a part of Crypto News Alerts. I highly encourage you to join us. It's simply discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. There's a lot of things to interact on, and it's open for everyone tuned in here today. So plug in and let's get this crypto, shall we? Welcome, Jeff, BTFD, you already know fam. Lady Jojo, good afternoon. Appreciate you tuning in from the UK. Shout out to the UK fam. Good evening, JV. Maximus in the building. How's everyone today? I appreciate you tuning in, Maximus. I appreciate all your support and everything you do. Shout out to Levar Stangeland from Norway in the building. Shout out to Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. Appreciate you tuning in. What up, McLovin? Good to see you as well. Appreciate your support, fam. What's up, Matthew J? What's up, Chris DeMorte? JV, how many Bitcoin do you think a person would have to make it worth the move to Puerto Rico? I'd say, come visit Puerto Rico and see for yourself. You may just want to relocate just because it's a great place to be. But yeah, there are a lot of perks, especially for Bitcoiners and people in crypto, and for investors and for business owners. That's why so many people are attracted from the United States to relocate and open up shop here. But this must become your primary residence, just FYI, meaning you must live on the island at least 183 days out of the year, which is 6 months or more, to take advantage of some of these incentives. Just FYI. Feel free to reach out to me on the Discord server in regards to any questions with relocating or Puerto Rico. I'm glad to assist any way that I can. Then it would be worth to move to Puerto Rico in 10 years before the Act 60. Yeah, who knows? I know those of you who get approved for it can get grandfathered in, and it could last a very long time. So if you're looking to take advantage of that before the laws change, do it sooner than later while you still can. How many Bitcoin? Yeah, it's up to you guys. Everyone's in a different situation, fam. We're at a 0.5% global adoption. In 10 years, we'll be over 30% adoption, in my opinion, plus 2 more halvings should be 1 coin by then, says Matthew. Thank you for sharing. Damn, so even if it just goes to 250,000, yeah, I mean, you can do the math. For anyone who is a whole coiner or looking to become a whole coiner, not a bad idea to do it here, especially if you have faith and believe in Bitcoin and you think it's going to go up over the next 10 years, because one Bitcoin can hypothetically be worth $1 million, just like Arthur Hayes is predicting by the year, 2030, just like Kathy Wood and many other influencers are predicting. So hypothetically speaking, let's say you lived in Puerto Rico right now, you got approved for the act, it becomes your primary residence, you purchase a Bitcoin for 25 G's, and then hypothetically speaking, in 7 years, Bitcoin's worth $1 million, and you want the fiat for some reason, you want to purchase a new house, you can do so, and 0 capital gains tax. That goes for all investments, not just crypto, but also real estate. So you may want to look into it if anyone has the itch. What's up, Corey Reynolds? My good old friend. Good to see you, fam. What's new? What's poppin'? So can you ever come back to the U.S.? Yeah, of course. You could also live in the United States at the same time as living in this territory in Puerto Rico, which is a territory of the United States. So again, you can spend hypothetically 5.5 months wherever you currently live in the U.S. and then just spend at least 6 months, 183 days out of the year in Puerto Rico and still take advantage of all the tax incentives. That's the caveat. What's up, fam? What's up, Chris Minka? Good to see you, fam. What's poppin'? What's new? What up, Kyle Sisk? Let's have a good one today. 100%. Welcome back. Let's get things moving. If we hit 23,000, I'm going to flip. What does that mean, Kyle? You're going to flip out and go crazy? Or are you going to flip from a bear to a bull or a bull to a bear? Let me know. Eric says, Bakerfield, California, what up? Tuning in while I get my workout in at the gym. That's what's up. Today I had yesterday was chest day for me at the gym. Today is running my 5 miles and putting in my leg workout. Lower body day, cardio day, all day. Let's go. Great to be here. Shout out to DCA Bitcoin No Alts, tuning in from Clearwater, Florida, my old stomping grounds. Shout out to $0 G-Row. What's good? Robert Brady says financial education is important. Study charitable, revocable trust. It allows tax-free trading, pays you a salary for the rest of your life, and pays life insurance for your hairs. Sage advice. I appreciate you sharing that, bringing it to our attention. Shout out to Tony Jeffrey. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to Liverpool. Appreciate the support. From there over in Europe. Always good to see the Crypto News Alerts fans. Smash that like. Much love and much respect. Greatly appreciate that. I am sticking to my January 10th, 2024 spot ETF prediction. Thank you for sharing, Matthew. Caprice, well, between October and March is from the next deadline until the last deadline. Pretty obvious prediction. Word. I understand what you're saying. I guess you're referring to those ETFs. What's up, Caden Kiefer? What's up, bro? Good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Been watching the show daily with my girl for a few weeks, says Waxel, and we highly rate it. Much love. Could you shout out to Kerry, please, my man? Massive shout out to Kerry watching right now on the big screen. Gotta, give love where love is due. You know what I mean? Share that love, spread it around. Argentina should be next to make Bitcoin legal tender. I hope you're right. One Glenn Co. Massive shout out to all the people in Argentina. Hello from Boston, or I should say Boston. What up, Hodl Dom? Appreciate you tuning in. Love to think Canada will educate Bitcoin in classrooms, but I doubt it'll happen anytime soon. As long as Justin Trudeau, however you pronounce his name, is Prime Minister, I highly doubt it until they get that mofo out. Argentina, I think, was already talking about making Bitcoin a legal tender, so I think they'll be the next to teach the children about Bitcoin. That's what's up. I hope you're right. I am teaching my niece about Bitcoin since she was 6 years old. She's now 8 years old and already got more than a half a Bitcoin to her name. God bless her. Love to hear that. Bitcoin showing a bearish movement with the lack of support to pass 26,000. In the short term, Bitcoin predicted to drop below 24,000 mark sometime in the next 3 weeks, says Jeff. Thank you for sharing. James Elsey says, let's go. Send it. We should see a month of September to follow the previous years with market finishing in the red, says Jeff. Hodl says Ambrosia. That's the name of the game. DCA. Stack those sats. Zap smashing that like from Japan. Much love. I appreciate that very much. Doug Joseph, JV. There will be a total solar eclipse crossing Mexico, USA, and the Canada, April 2024. Interesting. Can you make a call to Satoshi to ensure that the halving in April 2024 happens at the same exact time? Very interesting. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Now it's on my radar. Andy Surfer, it's on. Let's go. Dollar cost average, you already know. And also massive shout out to everyone tuned in on Rumble. If you're watching on YouTube, I highly encourage you to follow me on Rumble. We just surpassed 500 followers just as a backup channel if something were ever to happen to the YouTube channel. Also note, we stream simultaneous at the same time each and every day on both Rumble as well as YouTube. So you guys can, choose your weapon. Now, let's actually check out the Discord. And again, I encourage everyone to join our Discord. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. We have a Ask a Question channel in there. And we got a great question today from Digital Dankness. He asks, can Bitcoin act as a catalyst for reducing reliance on intermediaries and increasing direct peer-to-peer transactions in other industries? 100%. I mean, why do we want to be dependent or rely upon third parties or intermediaries? I think if you had the choice and you can just use Bitcoin peer-to-peer, what would you choose? Do you prefer using an intermediary or do you prefer using Bitcoin peer-to-peer? Personally, I think Bitcoin is so brilliant because it's peer-to-peer, right? So I think it will become more and more popular, especially as people become more and more educated over the years. And I'm so happy and grateful that, like we mentioned earlier, the curriculum in El Salvador, they're going to be teaching in all of the schools, Bitcoin education. So the kids can learn. The kids are the future. So it's so important. So yeah, I mean, you guys let me know. Do you like middleman like PayPal for using Bitcoin transactions, or you just rather send it peer-to-peer? Let me know your thoughts, fam. I know Satoshi intended it for it to be peer-to-peer, so that's a fact. Bitcoin bull run started when 16,000 people ice broke higher. This is a very nice correction point, and I'm dollar cost averaging. You make a great point, Tom Moore. When you're gonna bust out some rhymes for us, JV? Well, if you know my past, I love breaking out rhymes. Maybe I'll have to do that in a live show. Maybe I'll drop a freestyle and embarrass myself. Who knows? If it's by popular demand, if we can get 500 live people demanding I do a live rap freestyle, I'm down. But if I'm only going to get one request, I'm not embarrassing myself off of one request, just saying. I feel your pain for your loss, but like I said, it's a good thing we're still early. It's the only way you can look at it to ease your pain of the loss, says Maximus. Word up. We be stacking them stats. What's good, Corey? What's new, fam? Are you tuned in today from the Tesla? Do let me know. Shout out to Ellen. I appreciate your support, fam, each and every day. What's up, Chris? He says by 2038, $1 million Bitcoin price action. Word. Gary says by 2030. Sounds sexier to me. Driving but listening at the same time. McLovin, appreciate that, fam. Chris predicts between 2033 and 2038. Is that a $1 million price action? Bitcoin will eventually be worth $1 billion, in my opinion, says Dankness. It is just going to take a few more cycles beyond most predictions. Word up. Good point. Rudy LaPlane, smashed. I appreciate those smashed likes. Hope you're doing good. Much love, much respect. Good stuff, fam. What up, Tom Lawrence? Mr. Still Stacking. Phil C. Howdy, howdy. What's poppin'? Brother T. Hi from the space coast of Florida. Word up. Shout out to Florida. I got a lot of fam over there. $100,000 party of Bitcoin will be the trend. They are not as far as you think. That's right, Chris Minka. And a reminder, we have the $100,000 Fiesta channel already set up in the Discord. Everyone's invited to join. If you're planning on coming and celebrating with us in Puerto Rico and meeting JV face to face, let's go. Go join the Discord. Discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Make it happen. Looking forward to connecting with you in there along with the rest of the fam. Good stuff. Edson Oliveira, hi from Rio de Janeiro. Shout out to Brazil, my beautiful people out there. In South America, congratulations. Much love, fam. The next halving drops Bitcoin's inflationary rate to 1% versus gold's 2%. Bitcoin doesn't drop to 0 till 2134 when the last Satoshi is mined. Then that's the real life, immutable Austrian economics. Word up, Statwise. I appreciate the insights, fam. Any thoughts on Bitcoin proof of stake fork? I mean, look at all the previous forks of Bitcoin. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the first one was Litecoin back in the day. And then after that, we had Bitcoin Cash, we had Satoshi Vision. But it seems many of them are trending towards zero as Bitcoin continues going up. Everything else is going to zero against Bitcoin. As Max commonly likes to share, everything's going to go to zero against Bitcoin. It may seem to be that way. There can only ever be one true, genuine Bitcoin, and that's the Bitcoin that we have, in which Satoshi created. I think all the forks are doomed from the beginning, but that's just my two Satoshis. You guys let me know your thoughts. And look at all the other forks in the crypto industry. A lot of them don't go so great. It is what it is. Hello from Bradenton, Florida. That's around my old stomping grounds. So massive shout out to Austin Ball. What up? Everyone send emojis on the live. Please do. Post your favorite emoji right now. Let's blow up this chat. Shall we, chat? It can only help us out and get more exposure to the show. So go ahead and right now drop your favorite emoji and let's do this. And who knows, maybe I'll bust out a little freestyle. Maybe I'll do something a little more entertaining that I typically don't do if you're willing to take action and do something you're typically unwilling to do. So maybe we can be working together in this, fam. I'm trying to wrap my head around a $2 million coin, plus when it's a market cap, all I think is Star Wars. Everyone has phones equals Bitcoin. That's right. Everyone has a phone, so they can store Bitcoin on it. But guess what? Not everyone can store gold. That, my friend, is a fact. So therefore, there is no comparison whatsoever to the precious metal and the king crypto. Also, Bitcoin is incorruptible, unlike the precious metal, which is manipulated through derivatives markets. And also, there's a finite limited supply. We can't say the same about precious metals. We can't say the same about Ethereum. And we can't say that any cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin is truly decentralized. That's what makes it so valuable. Some people are like, yeah, but Bitcoin's eventually going to go to zero. No, as long as we perceive it as having value, it'll never go to zero. As long as you perceive as incorruptible money valuable, it can't go to zero. You know what I mean? As long as you perceive finite limited supply money, perfect money, which this is the first time in human history us having access to it, as long as you find that valuable, Bitcoin's always going to have a value because people like I will always value it. People like yourselves will always value it. So Bitcoin is going to go up. It's driven by the cycles. There's a 4-year cyclical nature. And if you do the math, I got started in Bitcoin in 2017. There was a halving in 2016. It was the year preceding the halving. We went parabolic. We rise from like 1,500 when I got in to up almost 20 grand. You know what I mean? Within about a year. That was by December of 2017. And then by 2020, we had the next halving. And then what happened? By 2021 in November, we hit the current all-time high of $69,000. I'm expecting that same trajectory. You know what I mean? Numbers don't lie. It's a mathematical certainty. It's just basic supply and demand, stock to flow. We have a limited finite supply. We have a high demand. Supply shock is going to send this baby to the moon. I'm telling you, I can't wait. That's why we be stacking sats regardless. PayPal works, Jack Dorsey, Elon, Peter Thiel, etc., giving up the peer-to-peer dream. So they all fell back on making fiat usable by plugging into the machine. Then came Satoshi. Preach Satwise. Appreciate you sharing that. Massive shout out to Bring Facts. What is good? Been watching in silence. Real bad boys move in silence. You already know. Welcome, fam. Jacob Anderson with the emojis. Let's go. Selling with twins. Rocket ship to the moon. DCA 4-leaf clover. Love it. Ellen's giving me daps. Much love. Eric, rocket ship to the moon. Mr. Still stacking. Fire. Baller Bill. Sheep. Don't be a sheep. That's right. Clown World coming from Ambrosia. Chocolate Factory. Digital Dankness showing love to the Canadian Leaf. Bitcoin Maximus. All hail the king. That's right. Hope something good happens to each and every one of you today. Thank you, Bendaro, and God bless you. I wish you all blessings as well. Much love and much respect. Anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We broke down the latest technical analysis. This is the Bitcoin price metric. Copies of move that last came before the 25% FTX crash. We also discussed breaking news. $646 billion asset manager AB Bernstein predicts a spot Bitcoin ETF will finally be approved between mid-October and mid-March of 2024. I also shared the latest with Max Kaiser, saying that the higher oil prices, along with the higher interest rate, USD deposit accounts are attracting capital and creating that small headwind for the king crypto. We also discussed El Salvador. Big news coming out of here to introduce Bitcoin education in schools by next year. We also discussed that the crypto casino stake was hacked by hackers for $41 million, and they have now resumed business. We also discussed ex-Goldman Sachs banker Raoul Pal saying that $1 quadrillion in crypto use case will dwarf everything coming into the industry. Send it and let's go. We also discussed that the Bitcoin bull market began back in March, and more will realize this in the next 6 to 12 months, according to Arthur Hayes. And we also shared his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction following the First Republic collapse. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look forward to seeing you all on tomorrow's episode. Don't forget to smash the like, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment in the main comment section as soon as the stream is over. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.